Right. Hi. My name's Paddy Mills and I come from the Kokatha people of Kunaba, South Australia and the Dawareb and Comet tribes of Murray Islands, far eastern Torres Strait.
From the north to the south to the east to the west, let the baller take you home. Island style represent, put your soul to the flow. Love your set, represent, raise your pride to the sky. Love it like it's the best. Unite with music, heart and mind, reconnect, feel.
I think it comes back to identity and being able to understand who you are and how to be seen as that identity and how that can educate and teach people about who you are and where you're from. I started doing traditional dancing around the same time that I could walk. So I've been doing it for a long time and thoroughly enjoy it. Dancing for me was a very strong, along with songs and music, traditional songs and music was a very strong gateway, I guess, into my culture.
The history and culture, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander history and culture, haven't been present in the education system. So a lot of Australians growing up haven't become aware of what Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people are, the culture.
This is in fact Nagi Island, and this is the home island of the Mills family. This is where my grandfather lived, Sammy Mills, my great-great-grandfather, Frank Mills, and my even further back, James Mills. So just in case you guys don't know my middle names, it's Sammy James, Patrick Sammy James Mills. This is where my long line of family come from, Nagi Island. My parents have inspired me through many different ways. The most specific has got to be how important culture and background is to me. And then as I've gone on and understood more, I've understood my identity more, our identity, the family's identity. And that's enabled me to grow to understand how I can then teach others about it.
Patrick has a good understanding of, and because we worked in government, that created an awareness within him about what was happening. Also by my story, he's very aware of that.
The stolen generation is very complicated. It's defined as the forced removal of Aboriginal kids from their family and put into an environment where they are forced to grow up, not being allowed to have anything to do with their real family and their real culture, so language, foods, any of that. So forced to grow up in a very foreign place than what they know, in an attempt to wipe out Indigenous Australians.
I guess it affects him in a way because my Aboriginal identity is not as strong as his father's identity, because I was brought up with non-Indigenous Australians. I had to find my way back to connect with my family. I missed out on a whole lot of things. I missed out on a whole lot of culture. Grandparents, I missed out on all of that. So I wasn't able to share that with Patrick.
Will I ever really know what my mum went through? Definitely not. but I have learnt many things from her. But when you think of it in that perspective, being able to achieve certain things throughout my journey, my career, I think definitely helps a lot of people, I think.
At an early age, we had to teach him to be proud of who he was, that he was unique because he had both Torres Strait Islander and Aboriginal heritage, and that made him special.
My family, my background, my family's background and what they went through 100% defines me, who I am. And being able to use those elements or characteristics or whatever it is to get by things or to do things or to achieve things, whatever, I think has gotten me to where I am today.
He always says that, but don't forget who you are. Don't forget your culture, don't forget where you come from, because that is a very important part of who you are and helps you to be able to move forward.
My mother being a part of the stolen generation and my dad being from the Torres Strait, those two are both Indigenous peoples of Australia, and that is my upbringing of who I am. But along with that comes a lot of great things, a lot of good things and cultural things, and but obviously a lot of adversity as well. I think I've just gotten to the age where I've understood how to not only acknowledge it but teach and educate others.
It's been a great platform. We're using basketball to promote the culture, the background, where he's come from. That same message that he'd like to encourage others to do as well, and to continue to promote and raise awareness.
This art piece is of Wongai Court, located on Thursday Island in the Torres Strait. This is where not only I played as a kid, but where a lot of family played on this court. It's a good reminder about obviously what I do now, but you know, where I come from and I guess in a sense where it started.
They can see when he goes back that he's not someone distant from them in the TV that they normally see playing the game. There's actually a person, you know, someone standing in front of him, talking the same language, performing, dancing, singing the same song that they know.
It's those interactions. When I go to communities and places that they would never think that I would go, nor other people, I think it's times like that that they really understand, and I speak to them in language or whatever it may be, but it's those moments that they understand that I'm just like them. And I tell them I'm just like you, running around with holes in your shoes or no shoes on you know, dirt or whatever it may be, that they realise I'm just like them. And I think the more that I'm able to connect with them in that way, that automatically opens up the idea for them to think that, well, I can do it too if he can, and that's the message.
It's not a complex message, a simple message, but it's trying to encourage others. So that's the kind of thing I think he'd like to be remembered for, someone who would encourage others to actually reach their potential. And no matter whatever it is, whether it's sports, education, you know, a whole range of things.
I don't think I'm ever going to really understand how much impact I'm having. I mean, I think I know. I've been told that before. And I've been told that by Kathy Freeman of all people. She said to me, I don't think you understand how much of an impact you have on Indigenous kids, but all Indigenous people. And I guess I'm at the point now where I see myself as an ambassador for all Indigenous people throughout the world, because they are the same battles, they are the same fights. And I've seen that, you know, and I've heard that from people all around the world. And I think that's really unique and really special, that I have that opportunity to be able to then inspire all these other people from all around the world. I think it's important, but I think it's special, yeah.